Lies, lies, lies. Much of the marriage and relationship advice given to men on this platform isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. Good men are losing their wives because they are following bad advice. Your spouse didn't marry you for an allowance. You have to get good at connecting. People are coming to YouTube for help and are being given more problems because of that. Hey, my name's Jordan Joaquim and I'm a master's degree holding psychotherapist, licensed mental health clinician, and couples counselor with over 10 years in the field. But when we're here, you can just call me your friend. However, unlike a fake friend, I'm really here for you. I spent over 10 years in this field cleaning up the mess that bad advice has left behind. To keep you safe from that same bad advice and to help you have better relationships, I'm going to share my 3 replies to the most common lies being told to men. Since this is a launch video for this channel, I figured it would be nice to bless you as well. At the end, as a bonus, I'll give you 3 reasons as to why marriage gurus think the way that they do. YouTube is filled with self-proclaimed gurus, manipulative salesmen, and copycats that are filling this platform with misinformation. As a licensed counselor, I get really upset about what other creators are falsely saying about my expertise. I see so many content creators taking advantage of viewers' emotions and trading their curiosity for views. Ultimately, they're taking their fears and turning them into false hope. People are coming to YouTube for help and are being given more problems because of that. Even with faith-based content, so many self-proclaimed preachers are twisting the word of God to fit their social media agenda. You know, at first, I just wanted to write my books. But after seeing all of this, YouTube has convinced me to help as many people as I could on this platform. I'll leave my ebook in the description of this video if you want to take the value found in that as well. Now, this is in the words of my clients, not mine. But as a really good mental health therapist and couples counselor, I'll hear many of my clients say that they wish that we could be friends outside of therapy. Sometimes they'll even request to go on double dates with our spouses. I think this is because they realize that while their friends may be good people, they don't always have good advice. This leaves them with a need that gurus are more than happy to try to fill. The problem is that so much of that guidance is wrong. To make sure therapists are being professional and to protect the safety of clients, licensing boards have created ethical guidelines to prevent friendships from happening. That's why I came up with the idea for this channel. While I can't become friends with my clients in the real world, I can hang out with you on YouTube. On top of that, I could give you and everyone else some time to hear from a trusted friend. All right, that's enough ranting. Let's get into exposing these gurus and saving your marriage. As I said before, we'll expose 3 of the most common lies told to men, and then as a bonus, I'll also share 3 reasons as to why gurus think the way that they do. We'll hammer through these points. I won't keep you too long or spend too much time on each one. If you feel like you want to hear more from me, feel free to keep watching some more of my other videos. If you'd like to have all this information available to you, I left a link to my book in the description of this video. You'll be able to find all these points and much more in my self-written book, How to Love Her Like Christ Loved the Church. So make sure to check that out. Lie number 1, a provider must take care of his family financially. This is almost right, but if something ain't completely right, it's still wrong. While I think a provider can take care of his family financially, if money is how he's grading his ability to provide, he's failing everyone, including himself. Don't think I'm bashing making money or creating financial freedom for your families. I'm also on that same journey. I, however, am smart enough to know this is not providing for my family. Well, I lied. It's not that I'm not smart enough. Really, I've just worked with enough clients that were kids, women, and men who shared that money did not solve their family problems. We put way too much focus on money. Money is just a tool, period. No tool can solve any problems. You can use a tool to fix a problem, but the tool still needs you to do this, not the other way around. You are far more important to your family than any tool. You are far more important to your family than money. When you think of being a provider, also think of the word support. How can you provide support to your family. What do you think the research shows that families need more than anything? I'll give you a second to think about that. The answer? Connection. If you got that right, or sort of right, pause this video, let me know in the comments, and then come right back. You know, this is actually exciting stuff. It takes the pressure off of you of being a breadwinner and is actually encouraging you to be more of a bread baker or sandwich maker. Just get good at connecting. In 2025, a systematic study on 41 different research projects around the world revealed that connection was what was most important to families. It went on to say that family cohesion, emotional bonding, adaptability, communication, and support is a foundational predictor of children's academic, psychological, and social development. The story I'm about to share is one that happens way too often. It may even be happening to you now, but hopefully we can save you from having to go down this road any further. I'm meeting a new couple for the first time. Couples therapy can be very intimidating for many people. So after a brief introduction of who I am and what modalities I use, I asked the couple to share some strengths that they think their spouse possesses. This breaks the ice. It helps them to see that this is not about tearing each other apart, but actually finding ways to lift each other up. The wife looks at the husband, smiles briefly, and then she snaps out of it, turns right to me and says, Jeff, well, we'll just call him Jeff for the purpose of this video, but she'll say something along the lines of, Jeff is a really great provider. In that area, I really can't complain. He pays the bills, he buys me nice things, and I don't have to work. It just feels like he's not present anymore. He doesn't talk to me, and he's always on his phone. On the surface, you may think, she's got it good. I'd love to not work and have someone buy me nice things. That's not the way humans or relationships work, however. It sounds good, but it feels horrible. Your spouse didn't marry you for an allowance. She did so for your connection. It's funny, as much as we talk bad about gold diggers, we really work hard to turn our spouses into them. Diamonds are not a girl's best friend. You are. One of the approaches that I regularly use in my work as a therapist is attachment theory. When a non-clinician hears the word attachment, they may think of a bad thing, like someone being clingy. But attachment is just our scientific word for connection. And we've discovered that connection is a protective factor that helps families navigate stress, conflict, and change. If I'm anxious, afraid, or worried, I don't need your money. I need your support. Harvard has a research program built around marriage and families. In that program, they found that supportive family relationships are among the strongest predictors of long-term well-being. You know what I also really enjoyed? Harvard also went on to say that children who were raised in a religious or spiritual environment were better protected from depression, substance abuse, and risky behaviors. So what have we learned from our first lie? Being a provider has nothing or very little to do with money. Listen, if money saved marriages, Hollywood would have the lowest divorce rate. If you want to provide your family with the best support, you have to get good at connecting. Connect you to your family so that you can help them get through tough times. If you're going for a home run, you're also working to connect your family to God. This is a good opportunity for us to practice connecting here. We can do this by using the comments section. Challenge yourself to open up and share in the comments section below what connection was like for you in your home growing up and how you think that's impacted you today. I look forward to chatting with you. Lie number 2, vulnerability is a weakness. This one really upsets me, but I understand exactly how the guru got here. It starts by us only looking at a simple definition of the word. We hear being vulnerable and we think, you aren't protected, you have a poor defense, and you're open to attack. I wish you understood how beautiful this actually is, but we'll get there in a bit. We think of this definition and say, this is horrible. I'm a protector of my family. I can't be vulnerable. I have to be impenetrable. You tell yourself, I can't go around letting people do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and take advantage of me. And with that, you'd be right. The only problem is that no one asked this of you. Not outside your home, and especially in your relationship. Why do we assume that if we're vulnerable with our wife, that we'll now be targeted for attack at the gas station? Why do we think if we're emotionally available to our spouse, she'll take advantage of us? Sir, who are you married to? Your arch nemesis? I promise you, if she does drop the ball, it's because she, just like you, isn't a good communicator, not because she's preying on your downfall. Not only does the success of your marriage depend on your vulnerability, it also measures how strong you are as a man, not weak. Brené Brown, if you haven't heard of her, is a famous researcher who spent over 20 years researching human behavior and had this message for men. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage. There's no courage without vulnerability. You know, this is absolutely true. It's also similar to something I tell my son. Well, I used to have to tell my son. I live on a humble plot of land where my son is blessed to run around and interact with nature daily. We have a couple tree stumps that my 5-year-old son enjoys climbing up and getting on top of. One day while on top of one, he asked me if he should jump off of it. I was shocked that he hasn't yet. I quickly responded, "Yeah, go for it." His mother probably wouldn't have liked how quickly I said that. But then I hear his voice go from curiosity to fearful when he replied, "But I'm afraid." My natural response would have been to say something like, "What do you mean afraid? There's nothing to be afraid of." I'm glad I took just a little longer than usual to reply so that I could give a better response. I looked at him and made sure he saw the excitement in my eyes and said, "Nice. Now you get to be brave. You can't be brave if you don't feel afraid first." Needless to say, he's still jumping off those tree stumps today. This is true for you as well. You don't get to be brave unless you face your fears, and that's what's keeping you from being vulnerable. You're afraid your wife will think less of you. You're afraid it will hurt. You're afraid of being embarrassed. Being vulnerable isn't being weak. It's showing you aren't afraid of being hurt. That's courage. Being vulnerable is like the best scene in a sword fight. Being vulnerable is when things get really good. Being vulnerable is when the warrior takes off his helmet, removes his armor, throws it to the floor, and says, "I don't need it. I'm not afraid. Face me as I am." I love using that example in couples therapy, but the best part is your wife is not your enemy. You don't need armor with her in the first place. Do you think Marines wear their combat gear to the chow hall? Do you think samurai wear their armor in the comfort of their home? My brother in Christ, you are safe here. Remove your armor. If there's one person in the world you're allowed to be vulnerable with, it is your wife. It shows her you aren't afraid. It shows her she is free to do the same. It shows her you want the purest and strongest form of connection. You don't want to be in a relationship where you have to hide and be afraid of each other. Vulnerability isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you can trust your wife. Lie number 3. Alpha males are the biggest, strongest, and most aggressive of men. This is one that a lot of people are starting to pick up as false, but still holds true in many hearts. I go into great detail on this one in my ebook, so make sure to check the link in the description if you are finding this information helpful so far. A lot of what gurus and podcasters are saying about alpha males is straight up fantasy. I think we look at the animal kingdom and romanticize what we think it would be like if we were an animal. What's funny is if you actually studied the animal kingdom, you would have an entirely different view of what alpha males really look like. Frans de Waal, a famous primate researcher, shared in his research that alpha males show unexpected capacities, generosity, empathy, even peacekeeping. So the next time someone says that they're an alpha male, ask them how generous they are. Ask them how they typically display empathy. Ask them what they do that keeps the peace. There's a viral video going around of a dog by the name of King Charles. Have you seen it? There's what appears to be an animal shelter filled with big and scary looking dogs. The dogs are doing what dogs do and are barking at each other, messing around. All of a sudden, the camera pans to one dog who is taking it too far. He's getting very aggressive and nipping at the smaller dogs. I know what you're thinking, and nope, that's not King Charles. As you're watching this bully of a dog pick on dogs smaller than him, you start seeing the other dogs start to scatter or roll over. Rolling over is how dogs display vulnerability, by the way. It's their way of saying, I don't want to fight, and I trust you. The dogs aren't doing this because of the bully, however. They are doing this because the alpha male has arrived. The camera then focuses on the real alpha male, which happens to be one of the smallest dogs in the shelter. You even witness a cane corso bow to this dog as he walks by. It's no wonder this dog is called King Charles. When the bully realizes that King Charles is behind him, he quickly lays flat and rolls over. King Charles doesn't even need to bark. He places his paw on the bully's neck as if to say, enough, not in my house. This is a real video, but I thought I'd generate my own to avoid being sued. If you haven't seen the actual video, you actually should. That's what being an alpha male looks like. You aren't the most intimidating, you are the most respected, and you got this way by being generous, empathetic, and keeping the peace. You see, alpha males don't need to get loud and overreact. They stay calm and grounded. Alpha males don't tear others down. They build others up. Alpha males don't use fear to create intimidation. They use trust to build connection. Okay, so I listed 3 of the most common lies we're told as men. But just as promised, I'll give you the 3 reasons why gurus think this way in the first place. Reason number 1, favoring anecdotal experiences over empirical research. An anecdotal experience is a personal story, observation, or something you learn based off someone else's experiences. Empirical research is scientifically and systematically measured. It fights bias and typically needs multiple testing before sharing results. Empirical research is evidence-based. It's also reproducible and can be tested by your scientific peers. Don't get me wrong, anecdotal experiences are useful. In fact, I used it several times in this video. That's not the problem. The problem is when we don't have empirical research to back it up. Empirical research says, and here's my proof, or read my receipts. That's why I've included 5 empirical research articles in this video so far, and I will continue to do so. Gurus don't research. They go off their own biased personal experience, or someone else's that fits their agenda. If they did the research, not only would they have a better understanding and instructions, but they also have everyone else's respect. What they are doing is not impressive. From the moment we learn to talk, we realize that anyone can say anything. That's easy. It's proving it that's the hard part. Reason number 2, they'd rather have you happy now than happy later. These false gurus that you're coming across on YouTube are not in this for the long game. They are in this for the instant likes and viral trends. Giving you information that requires you to be patient and work on yourself means you may not remember to come back and give their video a like. Feel free to do that with this video now, if you please. That means it's wiser for them to tell you that your wife needs to respect you as the alpha than it is for them to tell you that you need to work on your communication skills. They want to stroke your ego, not challenge it. Challenging doesn't get you likes, however validating will. You know what they're like? They're like your good, bad friends. Do you know what's a good, bad friend? They're your good or close friends that are really just bad for you. They're the friends that tell you to divorce the best thing that's ever happened to you because you aren't hanging out with them as much as you used to. They're the friends who tell you that you should cheat if your intimacy needs aren't being met. In the moment, all of those things sound good, but later on you realize that they only make things worse. This is exactly what I see happening on YouTube. The guru gives advice that sounds good in the moment, but then I have the honor of cleaning up that mess when that person meets with me for therapy later on. Do you know how these fake gurus got this way? It's a tactic that they actually used on themselves. You see, they also struggle with low self-esteem, and rather than putting in the work, they sought out instant gratification. The problem is, they don't keep this to themselves. They use what they've learned from the false hope that instant gratification creates and then preach it to you. There was actually a recent study aimed at researching validation seeking in adolescence and how it later plays out. It discovered that 67% of low self-esteem individuals engaged in deceptive self-presentation. 40% of cyber fraudsters, or our YouTube gurus, reported early experiences with validation-driven deception. That means having low self-esteem increases your probability of using deception, and a large percentage of these fake gurus have been seeking validation from an early age. Maybe we shouldn't call it self-esteem, because when it's low, everyone else suffers. This actually transitions into our final reason perfectly. Reason 3, they have trust issues. What makes a fake guru take a non-traditional approach in the first place? I'm all for and encourage having different views, but why are they so against the science? Trust issues. They don't trust the research. They don't trust professionals. They don't trust themselves. And yes, only trusting yourself is still a trust issue. In fact, it's a big one. Having someone else's trust matters more than anything, and losing someone's trust will ruin everything. Sadly, that's probably where their trust issues came from in the first place. So this is actually just their continued attempt to protect themselves. Somewhere along the line, they were hurt, betrayed, or disappointed. Some doctor let them down. Some preacher told a lie. Some therapists didn't fix their problem. So now, rather than risking being hurt ever again, they've cut off all professionals and narrowed down their circle of trust to one that's only small enough for them. These gurus don't tell you about their trust issues. What they also don't realize is that just because they were hurt doesn't mean that you will be too. What they haven't learned is that just because someone did them wrong doesn't mean that everyone will. Trust is a vital part to your quality of life. Don't throw it out because someone else has issues. Fellas, keep this in mind if your spouse also struggles with trust issues. What I've learned from clients that I've worked with is most of these trust issues were created by someone else. That means we don't have to take it personal when hers show up. Use this as a reminder to not be so hard on her, and more importantly, don't make her problem yours. If we were to take home what we learned in this video, it would be being a provider is being a supporter, not a financier. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And alpha males, like providers, support others, not put fear into them. You know, I have so much more on these topics just waiting for you. If you enjoyed this information or my way of delivering it, the next video will also not disappoint. I constantly will put out more videos, but if you value your time, and you should check out my ebook in the description. Don't wait for my next upload to save your marriage. Don't wait on me to be the best you can be. In my ebook, How to Love Her Like Christ Loved the Church, you can learn how to save your current or future marriage for less than the cost of a cheeseburger. People spend hundreds to thousands of dollars in therapy, which is well worth it. I'm offering you a life-changing book at less than 1% of that. That's extreme value. You're welcome. You'll find the link to my self-written marriage-saving book in the description. Enjoying this information so far? Let me know what you thought in the comments section. Disagree with something I said? Oh, we definitely have to talk about that in the comments section. Get involved in the conversation, say what's up, and I'll see you in the next video, coming up right now.